Today's episode is brought to you by Forvis Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. We're just past the midway point of the year, still plenty of time to drum up new business. In fact, it's always a good time to reassess your business goals and your marketing strategy, says Christopher Melotti, founder and CEO of Melotti Content Media. His marketing strategy involves 10 steps, which he shares with Chris Ashmore.
So the very first one is to review your business plan. It's not about rewriting it. What it is about assessing where your marketing has responded and non-responded to your business plan. Because your business plan should be that North Star, right? So when it comes to your business goals, has your marketing answered that? That's the first thing. And if not, how are you going to, that's number 2, align it? How much does your marketing need to shift or edit or change to make sure that you're still on track with your business plan? And that's a hard one. It takes a bit of time. The next one is what I would do, number 3, is review and refresh and reinvigorate your brand's messaging. You see, as time goes on, your brand sort of shifts in the market and you probably want to shift it with the positioning. So reviewing and reinvigorating and reassessing your brand's message and making sure that it's still resonating with your clients and your customer audiences is really important. Now's the time. Next one is, as part of that, is reevaluate your customer journey. Whereabouts are your customers and where are they when it comes to their journey? You know, are they learning about you? Are they getting through to your sales team? Are you converting them? If not, then what I would be doing is step 5 is making sure that you've got a content marketing plan to answer all those parts of the journey. So for instance, I was doing this with my team recently and we were saying that we were getting a lot of leads at the top of the funnel, but we weren't converting as many as we'd hoped. And so what we did is we said, we need to start implementing a few pieces of content like more case studies, more objection handling responses to make sure that we're converting following on from the last 6 months. The next one I always say is number 6 is allocate your budget like rocks, pebbles and sand, right? So, you know, that analogy, it's age old where it's like put your rocks in first, then the pebbles and sand. So have a look at what you actually need to move. So what parts of your marketing strategy need to, you know, if it's a product launch, that's definitely a rock, you know, whereas sand might be just updating some of your templates. So assign your budget according to what you actually think is a priority that's going to make your marketing plan meet your business plan. Number 7 is invest in content. And I mean a lot. And a lot of people and a lot of brands are ignoring this at the moment, but you know, it's really important to make sure that your, you know, videos, blogs, articles, photography, ebooks, case studies, all of those kind of things, they're moving things around. Number 8 is I would say don't try and do it all yourself. That's the biggest killer of business is when you go, right, I've got all these things to move and I need to make it work myself. That's not the most effective strategy. Is reassign it, see if there's an external person that can help you with it. All of those suppliers are out there like myself, of course, but there's others, right? And having a look at how you can assign it. Number 9 is prioritize the sign-up process. What I mean by that is making sure that you're not bottlenecking, right? What is it that needs to get moved and how to make sure that the full calendar year is successful? And the last thing, but not least, number 10, don't delay. The year goes fast. And I'm sure, Chris, I'm not telling you anything, right? Is the year, it just disappears. Like everyone who's listening to this is probably thinking, oh my gosh, that's right. Weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and it just moves quickly. So the thing is, if you say, I can wait till August, it can wait till September, what ends up happening is you're in January and you go, what about that waiting? Right? So I always say to my clients is if you've got an intention to do it and you're serious about it, it's time to act. Because by the time you start putting things together and then putting all the pieces and doing the approval and all of that, it can be 3 to 4 months' time. And then you might be like, what happened to that?
So is this something that it's a 6-month plan, or is it from start of the financial year until the end of the financial year, or is it just...
Look, for me, it can be any time. I look for milestones in the year. Now, every business is different. For example, all the Australian businesses, they tend to look at quarters and especially the financial year in the middle, as opposed to the December period, because that's where Christmas is happening and everyone's going away. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter what schedule you're on. When you're up to that middle point where you're up to the 6 months, this is the time to look and reflect, because this is what happens is so many businesses, they get through the year and they go, did anyone check how we were actually progressing? And this is where it gets dangerous. So I always say, use these milestones like 6 months, like a financial year, and assess your landscape, assess where you're up to. Because a business that ignores where it's going will never get to where it should be, right? And so it's really important to look at how we're going, what's going right, what's going wrong. And every business does this. I do this all the time. I go, that didn't work. Let's see what we can do better.
And how do you determine what is working and what isn't working? How do you measure that?
It really comes down to data, right? I know it sounds boring, but it is data. It's like, for example, we were doing a lot on LinkedIn and it was not successful. And so what it is it's a particular type of LinkedIn advertising. And we were looking at it going, look, we've given it a good slog and it's still not getting the ROI we were looking for. And then the key is, what can we reinvest that time and money into that's going to be better, that we know works better? And in our case, it was networking, right? And that's different for every business. Not like it's just us. Like every business has its own sector and situation. But what I would say is it's data. You know, what's working on your website? What's bringing in leads? What are your customers saying? If you're not asking your customers, ask them.
So your marketing plan really comes off your business plan, your business goals.
Absolutely.
Dictate your marketing strategy. Is that right?
100%. Every business should do this. This is marketing 101. It's absolutely. And the reason why is because your business plan should be covering the overall direction. So it's like, we want to be in this position. We want this particular return. We want to launch this particular product, whatever it is, right? The marketing plan should 100% be in response to your business plan, because if it's in isolation, they're working in different directions. So it should be, and this is like, I've done corporate, I've done freelance, career, all these different types. They've always been the same, where it's your business plan sets the North Star. Then you've got your marketing that says, how do we contribute to those business goals?
Mm-hmm. And so what do you think of businesses who perhaps over the Christmas break or just before Christmas or just after the work starts at the start of the year, they line out their business goals for the year and they do their marketing for the year, but perhaps they should be looking at 3-month or 6-month readjusting halfway through the year?
Absolutely. I would recommend even 90 days. I know it seems like a lot of work, but if you think about it as a lot of work, it will be. If you don't, like if it's just part of what you do, like for example, I've got a marketing manager and what she does is she knows my business goals, like so from the business plan for the year. And she says, okay, let's assign, and she gets my business goals and goes, right, this is the revenue trajectory. This is this and that and that. And what she does is she goes, okay, to achieve that goal, I need to get this done. I need to produce more service pages. I need podcasts. I need Chris to network. I need one of my team members to go out there and prospect. So she puts all of those like to-do lists together. And then what happens is she watches the execution of them during the 90 days. Then what she does is she writes the results down for each of those executions and says, this is falling short. Should we continue with this? And so what that does is every 90 days, we're seeing how much progress we're making to the business plan. So by the end of the year, we are not surprised at anything because we go, it's not like we guessed our way through the 12 months. We can see at every point we need to reevaluate this. You know, because if you don't look at this, right, let's say that LinkedIn example, if we pursued that for 12 months and just blindly followed it, we get to the end of the year and go, wow, that didn't help us. And so we've fallen short. Whereas by checking it quarterly, what you're doing is you're going, oh, right, we're up to this point now. And this didn't work. Let's turn this around, change it so that we can get back on track.
What if you do hit your business goals and your marketing has been doing well? Is there a trap of just regurgitating that marketing plan forever?
You know what? If it works, why not? First part of your question is, if you exceed your business goals, congratulations. It's rare, right? But congratulations if you've done that. You need to then adjust your business goals, right? So that's the first thing. Then adjust your marketing plan. But if your marketing plan is working, then there's no point to change it unless it stops working, right? And it's just the truth, because it's like when you find that golden formula where it's like, if I put $1 in, $2 comes out. You keep doing that until it doesn't become viable anymore. And that's when you need to change it. So it's not about getting stagnant, but it is like, if it's working and you're having a great uptick and it's succeeding, then don't change it until you need to.
That was Christopher Melotti, CEO of Melotti Content Media. Business Essentials Daily is a SoundCartel podcast. Producers are Nick Schildberger, Chris Ashmore, Jeff Waters and myself. Technical production by Pete Letts. I'm Nicole Goodman. Thanks for listening. We'll bring you more Be Daily next week. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Forvis Mazars. To find out more, visit forvismazars.com/au. That's FORVISMAZARS.com/au.